Hello everyone, this is a video showing you a new piece of equipment we've got really. I've done a few little bits on Insta and Facebook and not anything on YouTube for us. So basically this is the ArcDroid, which is a CNC plasma cutter, but you don't have to have any equipment in forms of CAD or design software, I suppose, to actually do whatever you want, which is a big thing for us, because every time we want something making, everybody seems to say, have you got it in CAD? And we haven't got CAD, or know how to design anything CAD, or it takes the time where you can make a paper template with this and trace it out. So I'm going to show you a little bit of that. Basically, James has brought us this exhaust manifold that is made the ports bigger so it can get a little bit more power, and then the same again on his turbo port. But doing that means the original gaskets don't fit, so he's asked us to make some out of copper, which is what this is. So it does look a little bit of an odd shape, obviously because it's got a flat cut out and everything, but that is a custom copper gasket for this manifold and this manifold alone, which fits absolutely perfect. So it's not something we've been able to cut, obviously measure up. The only perfect circles you've got is your 3 holes for your bolt fittings. Even that's obviously not perfect because it's a little bit of an oval how he's bored it out. So that's that one done, so I could show you what a done one looks like. So then, what have you got to do to get that into the ArcDroid to cut it out in your copper? So, you basically make a paper template. I just use a floor mat or whatever, which gives you this. I then trace round all that, just using a normal Sharpie or whatever. Which gives me this. So I've now got that pattern on there, which is what I want. That's what I need essentially. I then, using this amazing little pencil, add it into this tablet. Like I say, you can, if you did have a CAD drawing or something, you could plug it in and get it out your stick and click go, but obviously we can't because there's nobody else got one like that. So then basically what I do is get this tool and trace round all the shapes. Now these are decent circles, they're all the same, so I can add a set size which is 40mm for each one, but all the individual holes all have to be traced using this laser, and I've drawn round, which gives me, hopefully you can see that pattern on there. And if I click run with the pencil, this allows me to check the cutting pattern. So that is basically copying what the plasma cutter's going to do. Which is pretty cool, having a little robot in your workshop. As I said, this isn't just for copper gaskets, we use it for all sorts of stuff really, but even daft stuff like making a tiny little bracket, which might be a rectangle to start off with before you start bending it into shape. Just go into this, give you the shape that you want, the length that you want, and it just cuts it out, so you don't have to make sure it's all square and all bang on with cutting. This does all the hard work for you, makes everything so much easier. And yeah, so I'm just checking the pattern now, which all looks good. I've obviously already done that. So I'm going to click stop and home. And I'm now going to swap the pencil for the plasma cutter and click go. Done some test pieces already, obviously that one and some other tests to hopefully get the speed correct. There is always a little bit of tidying up that needs doing. But like I say, it's a relatively new machine to our workshop, so I'm still trying to get all the figures and everything absolutely bang on. But making that by hand has been hours and hours and hours. I've had maybe a couple of hours templating, make sure everything's alright. It's not an easy thing processing it all in. Obviously you've got to make the template more or less twice because you're having to draw it out twice and measure it out and everything else. But I always get a little look first to make sure everything's lined up where I think it's going to be before I click go. It looks pretty good to me. Stop that. Let's make some sparks. There you have it. Shut that up a bit. So there you have one copper gasket, which obviously I ain't done any cleaning or tidying yet. But just from there it doesn't look a million miles out. I know I'm going to have to clean up these holes. They don't get them perfect obviously because they're not perfect holes to start with. But hours and hours and hours that they've been to fab that, and it's done. So I'll get that all cleaned up and I'll show you the finished product. There we have it, one copper gasket, all trimmed, obviously cleaned up and everything now, but everything lines up, I'm happy with it. If James needs to do any little bit of tweaking, then we can do that for him as well obviously. But yeah, from a seat cover, it's absolutely sound, you can actually see feet on that. From a seat cover to a paper template to an ArcDroid program, which is again absolutely out of this world. If you need a machine that cuts your little brackets and stuff like this, well, it's an amazing piece of kit. We use it every single day for all sorts of little jobs that you could do out there on grinder with a grinder and a piece of metal, but just pumping it into this makes it so much faster. And yeah, all done, all ready to get fit on his big power build that he's doing. Thanks very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and yeah, catch you next time.